This is Take a Cue, Season 2, Episode 6.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Season 2 of Take a Cue. I'm Erik, Donough, 8th grade band and jazz band director.
And I'm Jen Wise, 4th and 5th grade instrumental music teacher.
We're two veteran educators with over 35 years of experience teaching music in New Jersey public schools between the two of us, and we're excited to bring teaching experiences and insights to you.
So excited. Whether you're just starting out in your teaching career or you've been teaching longer than we have, this show will help you grow with new ideas and perspectives about music education and teaching.
We hope you'll be just as inspired as we are every time you listen. Before we begin, if you enjoy our podcast, please help us out by doing a few super easy things.
First, subscribe on your favorite podcast app.
Then make sure you rate the podcast and leave a review.
It helps people find our show who haven't yet, and we really appreciate it.
If you find that you get a lot out of our episodes, we'd be grateful if you considered becoming a monthly supporter to help us grow the podcast.
You can sign up to make a secure monthly payment using the link in our show notes or on our Spotify for Podcasters site.
Also, if you have questions or comments about anything you hear on the episode, come and interact with us on social media. We're Take a Cue Podcast on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube. Ooh,
Yes, we are. YouTube. Oh,
Very
you
exciting.
can see our shining faces in 2024. How great
Oh
is
man,
that?
I put some powder on though, so I was hoping the head wasn't too shiny.
That's okay. You're doing good. I wish I had a moment to do that today, but so.
Oh yeah, powdered
Oh,
my
yeah.
head for this podcast. No.
There you go. Happy New Year, Erik.
Jen, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I think we released an episode in the new year, but this is the first time
That's true.
we're saying Happy New Year to each other in the new year.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
Very
and
confusing.
this is the official New Year's check-in, New Year's resolution episode.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I texted Jen and I said, Jen, I want to put down in words what we're going to do and accomplish this year so we can keep each other honest. Let's do an extra episode this month.
And I can't tell you how long it took me to put pen to paper to be like, oh, what am I going to do this year? Oh, gosh, I don't know. So I'm really glad you're here for me. And I'm really glad you're keeping me honest on this one because...
likewise, Jen, this is good.
Yeah, this is really... Yeah, this is going to be a good thing. And I'm happy to share our hopes and dreams with our listeners today because you know, it's there's a lot of great things coming our way this year. And I think we need to just grab the bull by the horns and run with it. And, you know, yeah.
I love it. But listeners, you may not know this. You probably don't know this. But Jen and I actually get to hang out outside of school and the podcast over the next month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're playing a musical together at Del Barton High School. And, yeah, it's the 2022 edition of Anything Goes.
That's right. Which
yeah.
apparently is just a fixed version of whatever the last version was.
Yeah, yep.
But still has some missing key signatures and things like that.
Yeah. So.
But it was fun. We had our first rehearsal last night. And yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
Group.
And I think those missed key signatures were just user error, Erik. It wasn't. I'm not sure if that was a problem with the edition. So.
What are you talking about? I missed
I'm
no
talking
key
about
signatures.
my own
None.
playing.
You missed no key signatures. I tell you, I missed key signatures all over the place.
I'm such a hack. I know. I'm like, oh man.
It's interesting. You know, those of you who are out there that play, you know, read books or even brass books, you know that there's just key signature changes all over the place, and it never has to do with what sounds good for the orchestra. It's always about what sounds good for the singer. So
Yeah.
those B major key signatures always trip me up a bit.
Yeah, and they always throw like triplets and octave leaps and all this crazy stuff in there. Yeah, so.
But that's what makes it fun. Otherwise, it'd be boring.
Yeah, that's good. We had a 4-hour rehearsal yesterday, and I gotta say, my brain was like legitimately lit on fire for about 2/3 of that. It was
Yes.
So.
Oh,
yeah.
totally. Yeah. No, there was no like phoning it in on that rehearsal.
No. So that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the last time we were going to record, unfortunately, Jen fell ill.
I did. We've got COVID moving its way through our house again. Ooh. So I know it pretty much, we were actually going to record on New Year's Day. Right. And then, I called Erik the day before. I was like, I've got COVID. I got nothing for you. I have no voice. I have no ambition. I have no, it was a rough week there. So,
but I totally understand. And I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thanks. Yeah, I am. I mean, you could probably still hear the congestion because I'm echoing back in my own face right now. But you know, it's I'm feeling better. I know I'm not all the way there, and unfortunately, TJ got it about a week after me. So Tom and I are doing trading off half days, because we both have concerts this month. So it's been a tough couple weeks. So. And that was.
Well, thanks for taking some time and coming to hang here. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just gonna say, we had big plans for New Year's Eve as a family and everything, and oh man, it just squashed our big plans for the break. So we ended up just wiping noses and being gross and sick all for our holiday break. Besides, we hosted Christmas, which was fun, but
Now, how many people was that?
12
people.
12.
Wow.
Yep. And it's enough in our house, and it's definitely enough. As funny you ask, because I kind of miscounted plates. I think it was actually 13, and we went to sit down to dinner and everybody was sitting down, and I was like, oh, I guess I should count, myself. And there was literally no place setting for me. And
I was going to say, who has 13 place settings? That's not 12 is usually the number, right?
I know. Somebody's getting Corral. It better be me, I guess.
Oh, so, hey, there's worse things.
Listen, I know. It was fine. But I miscounted because, all of a sudden, there's a kids table in the family. And now, it just throws the count all off at the dinner. I don't know. But it was a really nice day. I'd do it again. Christmas was still a 3-day event, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the 26th we spent with my in-laws, it was good. I would host again. I think we had a nice time. I think everybody had a good day, besides the COVID trickling through the extended family now, because I'm pretty sure I picked this up on Christmas Day. So
okay, all right,
the timing's right. So we'll see.
Gotcha.
But
well, hopefully it's not the gift that keeps on giving and it kind of fizzles out. But glad you're doing better.
Thanks. How was Christmas for you guys?
Christmas was really nice. I wrote in our show notes, December slammed into Christmas, and then it was relatively quiet. I feel like everything was kind of going, and then we got to actual Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and things were really, really nice. We got plenty of downtime. We get together with Cindy's family on Christmas Eve, and then we get together with my family on Christmas afternoon. Christmas Day is just the four of us here in the house, and that's kind of how we kind of keep it that way, just as best we can, depending on the year. But it's nice kind of to keep it quiet, and then the rest of the break was not totally full of stuff. So we got to spend good time as a family. I got to get some stuff done around the house, spackling some cracks in our, 125-year-old walls and painting and all that good stuff.
Oh, that's good.
It was nice. The girls were in the pageant together at our church, which was nice.
That's sweet.
And But
that's really good.
Over the break, I did get together with some longtime friends from Livingston and the surrounding area. There were another family from the surrounding area, but we all kind of knew each other in high school. If you listen to episode 2, you'll remember that my friend Jeff is the reason that I ended up playing the saxophone in 3rd grade, and Jeff was one of the people that we got together with, and our families kind of got together and caught up, and the kiddos play. They're all within about 10 years of each other, so...
Oh, that's sweet. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
had a nice dinner out with Cindy at a fancy restaurant here in Morristown, which was a nice gift for Cindy's birthday from her dad that we were finally able to use because, well, December was crazy.
Yeah.
But it was really nice. What about you? How was I know you were like getting ready to do you were kind of getting over COVID and all that stuff in that week, but were you able to catch up on anything there or just pretty much sleep?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we did catch up on some sleep, but before the COVID hit, like, we talked back in one of our other episodes how Tom and I played at my cousin's wedding, and we are thinking of doing like a whole millennial wedding thing, flute and guitar duo. We brought it out to an open mic, and we brought TJ because
no way.
It was super fun. The open mic at Boot and Coffee Company starts at like 6:30. So that's plenty before bedtime. So we got there early. We got on the list early, and Tom and I did a couple tunes, and it was very well received. Like, people really enjoyed it, and that was a fun night out for the three of us, over break. And it was like good to get out and play. Tom got up. He was like, "Yep, we're music teachers on break. This is pretty rare. I don't know if you'll see us again, but here we are."
And the audience was appreciative.
Yes, very, very. It was really sweet. So, and a couple of people, came up and talked to us after, and that was pretty cool. And I got a chance to hear Tom play, which I don't usually, like we said a little while ago, like, okay, if we're going to go out there and pay for a babysitter, like, we're going to do it on a night where we like can hang out, not where Tom's like, oh, we get a 15-minute break, I'm gonna use the bathroom, grab a beer, and hop back on stage. Like those, we're not really getting a babysitter. But we did for a gig that Tom had with one of the rock band cover bands he plays with. It was nice to get out and hear him play and catch up with some of the some of the guys, the guys in the band and stuff. That was a good thing. I'm glad we did that over break, because
good for the musical soul.
Yeah, and and it's tough. Like, he was playing at a country club that's less than 10 minutes from our house, and oh man, I feel bad. They've been playing there like a year and a half, and I haven't gotten there. Because it's Friday night and I'm exhausted, and so we made that happen over break too, and that felt good. So
awesome.
Awesome.
So Jen, what's up in January for you and your students? How's everything going? What you got planned?
So January is very different for each of my schools. So and I hate that it is happening this way, but this is one of my things for this year. I'm like, meet them where they are, find what they really need. My school that I see my beginners on Monday, like January 1st, Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Monday. Both of those fall in January, and we have a concert this month. So at that school, I saw them today, and we just ran through their concert music, made sure that everybody in the room knew exactly what was expected, from like rest position, instruments up to instruments down, to like starting together, stopping together. Like, we did that all in lessons, right? Because the next time I see them, it's concert week. It's the third week of January, and I'll see them for a lesson. I'll see them for a large group rehearsal, and then it's dress rehearsal in front of half the school. So that's like, welcome back, Happy New Year. Like, a couple of the groups, I'm like, we got 5 minutes into the lesson, I was like, hi guys, Happy New Year. And welcome back, and so I was so like like we gotta get to all this today. My other school, I see them 4 times, and then we have a dress rehearsal, and then we have a another dress rehearsal in front of the school, and I just have my time is just stretched with them. So with that group, we're doing a practice-a-thon. And
tell me about that. I saw it on the notes, and I was curious what the practice-a-thon is. I feel like we touched on it a little bit, but
yeah, we had mentioned it a while back. But practice-a-thon is the best thing. So I set a goal for the band, 12 practice sessions for the month, right? So it's kind of adds up to 3 sessions a week because we have about a month, about 4 weeks till the concert. And I say your practice session needs to be 20 minutes or more. And I want you to be sitting down like more often to practice. So you're going to log 12, separate 20-minute practice sessions. And if my amazing principal is bankrolling a pizza party for them if they reach their goal. Yeah, sweet, right? So, and then they can set because some kids practice every day, they can set a goal beyond that. They have a sponsor helping them get to their goal. Everybody's on board. Everybody's involved in the Practice-a-thon. So, and I check their logs every week. Their sponsor has to sign off on it every week. And, we're in week 1 and I'm getting like parent feedback, like, this is great. My kid's really excited. My kid's really into it, and I'm like, I'm glad I'm doing it. I think it's really good. And I think it's really going to show. So I'm doing it with the band and the orchestra, both grades, first year and second year players.
Okay.
And we'll see what the participation's like. I've done it before and had 110 out of 120 kids participate. And I've done it other years where I buy 2 pieces and end up going home with 1. It's like, it's like you just never know who's actually going to follow through and how many kids. But I think they're psyched about it. I think the participation is going to be a lot. So
I'll be curious to hear how that goes when we check in again in a month or 2.
Yeah. I'll let you know. And I just I want the best for this group. I really think that they're the right group to do this program with because I don't know how else to say. They're just a little bit more serious as a group than the kids I've had the last couple of years, whether it's a COVID thing.
You get some
or
groups
what,
like that
but
and some not.
Yeah, right. And that's I don't know. It's just like I said, I'm going to meet them where they are in 2024, and like I said, Practice-a-thon is on, and we're going to make it happen, So, how about your students? Where are you guys at? We're January. What are you looking at?
I didn't get a chance to mention that our colleague Jim and I just got back from the Jazz Education Network conference in New Orleans. And so today is Monday. We left. We got back to school on Tuesday last week, and then Jim and I flew out Tuesday night, and then I got back on Sunday morning yesterday. And and our concert is in 3 days on Thursday. So so there was it was kind of nuts. Back for 1 day in school and then away for 3. And thank goodness that it was this year that Montclair State reached out to me and said, hey, would you like a student teacher? And they sent a student teacher who has had some teaching experience before.
That was capable, and that's
he was
great.
Very comfortable jumping in those 3 days. He did everything. He did general music, our small ensemble, large band rehearsals, lessons. He did it all. We spent the whole day Tuesday just planning every class, every lesson. Some of them were a little easier to do than others. The general music class is kind of just doing, like, they're working on their own piano work right now. So he can just go from person to person, and they're all on headphones and easy to, walk around. But like, he's very confident, and he's been there in the class, so he knows what to do. And then, so we had our rehearsal today. We were not able to get on stage because the speaker was scheduled tomorrow, and we couldn't set up the stage. So we're not going to have the stage except for one rehearsal before our concert, which normally we try to get 2, but usually it's not a big deal. So Brendan and I were like, okay, it is what it is. We're just going to make it work.
Okay. That's cool.
Yep, we were able to get through all 4 pieces today from the beginning to the end. We recorded them, and I posted it on our learning management system, Schoology, so the kids could hear it and kind of hear what was working well and maybe a couple spots that they need to focus on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think I'm feeling pretty optimistic for our concert, though I am a ball of stress right now.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Like,
I don't usually get stressed before our concerts, but being away for those 3 days and then coming back and being like, I've got to do all these lesson grades. I've got to do all the, get everything ready. The concert program isn't quite ready yet. All this kind of stuff we're
The little stuff.
jumping into. Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't have missed Jen for the world. I mean,
I
wouldn't miss you for the world, Jen. But but also
I
the
had
conference.
two thoughts. Yeah, two thoughts about the Jen conference. One, I love it because everybody's like, Jen's the best. Jen's so cool. Jen is the best thing ever. And I'm like, I love just hearing that. It's just so fun.
I can't wait to have fun with Jen.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great time with Jen this year. So that I love that. But I was gonna ask you, like, who'd you meet? What'd you do? What'd you hear? Like, what'd you get out of that one?
Look, I don't want to take up the rest of our episode just telling you about all the amazing stuff, but there is so much that I got to do and see. So many great artists. If our colleagues have not gotten to the Gen conference at some point, it is so recommended to get down there. If you've been to Midwest, it's like Midwest, but for jazz. And it's smaller. Everybody kind of stays at the conference hotel. And so you just run into everybody you could imagine in the jazz world. I'm looking through my pictures here, so I make sure that I tell you the cool highlights. And of course, you get to, hang out if you get. It travels around. This year it was in New Orleans. Next year I think it's in Atlanta, then it's back in New Orleans, and then it kind of moves around. But so being in the birthplace of jazz, listening to these jazz greats of all different styles, kind of all playing together, it was pretty amazing. So we went down there, got to hear the Preservation Hall jazz band. We get to hear them twice, but two different bands.
Oh, wow.
The first time we saw it was not the house band mostly, and we were able to go back with a student group from New Jersey, kind of tag along with them for a private concert from the house band with like a meet and greet and question and answer session. We got to hang out with Tom Bones Malone from the Blues Brothers and the Saturday Night Live Orchestra. I think that's where he's from, right? Saturday Night Live, yeah. So we get to hang out with him a bit and hear some stories. If you didn't know this, he also soloed with a group and played solos on the trombone, of course, but also the sousaphone, the bari sax, the trumpet, and the piccolo.
Whoa, that's wild.
And he shredded on the piccolo. I'm not talking like a gimmick. Like, he knew his stuff on those instruments.
That's cool.
It was wild.
That's really neat.
Yeah, but we saw Wycliffe Gordon, trombonist, who played with the group from New Jersey. One of our shared students was playing with that group, so we get to see her play with that group. Get some great pictures with Wycliffe and her.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, we get to see Bob Mincer in the Yellow Jackets, which was like definitely a highlight for me. Definitely a highlight. And the Charles Pillow large ensemble. If any of our listeners don't know Charles Pillow, look him up. He's really got some really cutting edge jazz compositions and groups out there. He also was one of my teachers. And so we get to see him play along with the groups. But the best, I'm sorry, I told you I wasn't going to take up the whole podcast. I promise this is the last one. The best was going to Fritzl's, which is a little hole-in-the-wall kind of dive club. So we went to see Harry Waters at Fritzl's and with a couple of mutual friends. And who came out along with Harry Waters but Gunhild Carling? If you're at all familiar with her, you might have seen her on YouTube playing bagpipes to jazz, playing 3 trumpets at a time, tap dancing. She's performed all over the world. And there she just kind of came out. She did 4 sets, and we sat 5 feet from her.
Oh, that's awesome.
And her daughter came out and also played the sets with her. Now, her daughter is a trombonist and fantastic, also a vocalist, but Gunhild also plays the slide whistle, the recorder. She also tap danced, the trumpet, the trombone, and also the bagpipes.
Whoa.
And gave us a little private concert at the end on the piano as well.
Wow.
But just full of energy. You have to look her up. Gunhild Carling, yeah. And we got to meet her, got to chat with her, and it just so happened, we just kind of, it wasn't planned. We just had hoped that maybe she might be there because we heard that she was hanging around there, the day before, and so it was great. Definitely a highlight. Couldn't tell you how cool it was.
That's great.
So anybody who's listening, and including Jen, get down to the Jen conference sometime because it was just great.
That's amazing. Yeah, we gotta get some talk about jazz up here on our podcast at some point. Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot. We haven't done a lot of chatting about that. You're right. We definitely we should make that a focus.
Yeah, I mean, because you have a fantastic jazz band, and our colleagues, do as well. And I think it's really a jewel in the crown of Livingston music is that we have such a great jazz thing going. We should get that going on here. So really cool.
Well, sorry to go on and on there, but there was just so much that was
That's
amazing,
okay.
and I don't want to leave anything out.
No, you did great. No, that's so cool. Because the next thing I kind of like to talk about is our New Year's resolution.
Okay, so eat more green stuff. Tell me about that, Jen.
I just thought it would be a good idea. No, I love green vegetables, and I just one of my New Year's resolutions is just like eat more green stuff. I know that seems lame and like a little thing, but I had an appointment this month.
I think that's a great resolution. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I had an appointment with my neurologist in December, and two things came out of it. One, I was lamenting a little bit because TJ has so many allergies, and he's such a good eater. He loves all foods that he's able to eat, but like I'm missing beans, and I miss some of the things that like eggs that are just outside of his diet. Like he's an allergy to eggs. He has an allergy to legumes at the moment. Almonds. I love almonds, and they're so good for you, so, and and she said, well, you're not at home for lunch, like eat hummus and eat beans and eat this like for lunch, pack those things for yourself for lunch. And I'm like, okay, I will do those things for lunch. So I'm gonna try and eat more greens and whole foods and some of those, like just the stuff I'm not getting at breakfast and dinner, the meals I eat with TJ. So that's, it's a little bit of a lifestyle change. And the other thing that came out of our appointment was they're going to be letting me do home infusions for my medication going forward.
Oh, okay. So that's super convenient compared to going in to a doctor's office to do it.
Yeah. So, and, I'm seeing someone in New York City, and to get in to the city to do a 4 or 5 hour more, it's 5 to 6 hours by the time I'm done, and they do all the blood work and tests and everything. It's an hour in at least, plus the tolls, and an hour out at rush hour, because I finish every time at like 4 o'clock. So I'm hoping this is like a big lifestyle thing that's gonna just make it easier. I'm still gonna have to take a personal day or a sick day every time I have to do it, but at least I don't have to like have that extra time on either end and sit in a chair in some infusion suite all day. I can like be in my house and that with my dog, and that'll be good. So hopefully that works for us. So that's
I hope so.
The other big thing
you have to let me know how it goes, but that's good news, I'm sure. Welcome news.
Yeah, definitely. And how about you? What's looking up for 2024 New Year's resolution wise?
Well, as far as personal goes, I'm really not a big resolution person. I do have things that like I try to do, like you said, eat more green stuff. I do have a salad most days for lunch. I do want to maybe try to snack a little less, and maybe drop a couple pounds. But I'm really hoping that I'm able to play more this year. We had talked about that as a personal thing. Just get the sax out, once or twice a week, or maybe more, and play some of the stuff that I could play 20 years ago, and maybe have a little more trouble with now. And I'm a classical saxophonist. I'd love to maybe work a little bit on improvisation and learn some basic improv. When I improv, I sound maybe like a good 8th grader.
Okay. I get that. I get that.
But I'd like to maybe be a little better. It's weird being a sax player who's like, no, I really don't feel comfortable improvising. So that's some personal resolutions. What about for professional side of things, Jen? What's going on?
A big one is I will hopefully, I can't not do this. I have to do this. I will finish my master's in the spring 2024 semester.
Woohoo!
So
Yeah, and I'm gonna hold you to it.
I know you are, because we're going to do it here on
Yes.
TQQ. Yes, we are. So the original idea was for my master's thesis to do a meta-analysis of our podcast, but now we've kind of narrowed it down to we're going to, create and produce and put out there for you 3 episodes this spring about the first lesson, because it's so important. And, just the foundation on woodwind instruments, brass instruments, percussion instruments. So 3 separate episodes, and you'll hear from us. You'll hear from some of our master teacher colleagues about how they do it and how they want us to do it. And I think it's going to be really valuable. And I think, writing about the process of making it happen, and, just putting it all on paper, I think is going to be really, really cool. So, the road to get here, it's been a while. So it's like,
I'm looking forward to doing that with you, Jen, and and learning along with you, and maybe imparting a little wisdom. And I think that's super fun. I can't wait for our listeners to get a chance to hear those and to put them together. So that's a great resolution.
I'm so excited. It's like, we're going to do it. We're going to finish my master's this spring. And and you guys are all going to get a chance to benefit from it too, I think. So, I mentioned like earlier for my band, we're doing the New Year's resolution for the band is like just to kind of stay the course, like excellence. I can make it happen. I know I can. And I don't want to just succumb to mediocrity here. I want to really make great things happen. I know I'm pushing the envelope with the Practice-a-thon. We've never done anything that even resembles a practice log. So, I know I'm pushing the envelope with that one, but, I think it's the right time, and I think it's the right group, and I think it's the right thing for them. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick by it. And, and I'm going to stick to my guns on that one,
Great. I think that's awesome. I hope it leads to great things.
I hope so too. Are you in the classroom, feeling the same way, pulling out any tricks, digging into something that you think is going to work for you?
For me, learning how to be a cooperating teacher for a student teacher or an intern is huge. And I'm really, enjoying that. It's a little tough to, relinquish the reins. At this point, my student teacher intern is taking those reins and kind of doing all the lessons. And we talked about how I wasn't there, and but it's going well. But for me, that's a learning experience too. And so that's I don't know if it's a resolution, but it's something I'm looking forward to getting better at, and to learning myself. As far as in the classroom, I think I need to pick a slightly more challenging lit. Our spring concert is way sooner than usual after our winter concert. We originally had it scheduled like end of May, and now it's the beginning of May. And because, I guess it just got switched. Those things happen when you're in a district of 10 schools. And so I'd like to pick some more challenging literature for them. I've got a bunch of really great players in the band, and I want to make sure that they're not bored.
That's so good.
With the music that we're playing. So I've got to look through our library and with Max, and that's the other thing, is picking challenging literature, but also to have a student teacher working on that challenging literature is going to be interesting. One more thing that we just were able to do, Brendan and I, is put a permanent recording setup in our classroom. And
like audio or audio and video?
Audio.
Okay, cool.
So we just put up, it's nothing huge. It's just a good pair of small diaphragm condenser mics that we mounted to the drop ceiling. And we have a small mixer that has a USB output. And so they're always hooked up at this point. Okay. So at any point, we can just plug it right into our MacBook, into GarageBand, and make a recording of the band. And that's something that I've always wanted to do more of. And it's just a pain sometimes to get decent recordings in the band room. You do it on a
is.
computer, but things are compressed, or it's just not great recording quality, or things like that. So now
or the
having
mic's
that,
like in the middle of the flute section, and that's all you get. And
Yes.
I've done that, and I've had success with like the Zoom, those, but like still. It'll pick up like one thing a lot, and you'll get most of the rest of the room. But I'm jealous. That's like the first thing I'm going to do if I get a room ever.
Yes. No, it's really important. And now I have no excuse to not make those recordings. It's just so easy.
No, that's awesome. That's a really good thing. I'm happy for you guys. Send me some. I want to hear what you guys sound like. Especially, I'm not going to be able to make it to your concert this week, so I want to hear. We
have a pretty decent concert recording set up now too, which is not permanent.
Okay.
But we got a good matched pair of actually the same type of microphones that now we have on an XY bar, and we have a big, long, tall mic stand. So we put that up in the auditorium, and we're hoping to get some pretty good concert recordings too, but I'll send them over to you. You'll have to let me know what you think. And,
awesome.
But yeah, so those are just some resolutions that I think are doable. I don't know. We have those, SMART goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think these are like SMART resolutions that we've got.
Okay.
They're attainable and they're reasonable.
They are. I think they are. Eat more great stuff, finish your masters, I think.
That's a big one.
I know. Yeah.
But totally doable. Totally
doable. It's gonna happen. So, to all our listeners, set a goal, stick to it. We're here for you. Reach out to us on social media anytime you want a little bit of support. We are absolutely here. We love hearing from you.
Yeah, I want to hear your resolutions. I want to know what cool stuff that you're doing in the classroom. Jen and I are awesome. But I always get just as inspired hearing about other people's ideas and thoughts and things they want to accomplish during the year.
Yeah, me too.
And we'll have to check back in periodically to see if we're really making it happen.
I know. I think we will, because I told you in our last episode about my New Year's resolution board, or maybe it was before that, but I don't have that going on this year, but I definitely need that little like needle. Hey, are you yeah. Are you sticking with it?
Maybe I should put up my own resolutions like in the front of the band room. And the kids will hold me responsible to be like, Mr. D, we haven't recorded in a month.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think 8th graders will absolutely keep you accountable for whatever you tell them to.
Absolutely. If I tell them I'm going to do something and I don't do it, I'm going to hear about it.
Yeah, definitely. So,
but our listeners, if you're really enjoying the show and you want to keep up with our resolutions and see how they line up later in the year, things like that, you enjoy getting some good information out of our podcast, or you just really like the banter, subscribe to us. You're already listening to us on a podcast app. Just hit the subscribe button. Simple enough.
Yep. Leave us a quick rating and review when you have a moment. It helps everybody else find us. And also share us with your friends, get them listening, get your colleagues listening to our podcast. We always love to hear about new listeners. So
absolutely. I've definitely talked to people who said, oh, I heard about your podcast from a friend and I wanted to listen to it. So go tell your friends. Well, I mean, probably band director friends. I know we probably have a couple of people who listen who aren't band directors, but it's kind of a niche thing.
Yeah, I think so too. They can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and you can see our shining faces a year older here on YouTube. So
that's right. We started doing YouTube, I don't know, middle of last season. And I've been trying to keep that going. I even now have cool lights in the background to make my wall look cool.
Erik looks really cool. I'm like, oh man, I look like old creepy basement compared to Erik's new setup. So
I got to tell you, there are a couple of cool things here. One on the wall is a little. I don't know if you can see the sign that. Sorry, I'm backwards. It says "Public School Made Me."
I saw that. Yeah. Yeah,
and over here, I'm going to turn it. I've got a really, really amazing painting by Andrew Turner. Whoops, I got out of the way. And, it's of a nightclub.
Cool.
Yep, nightclub. And And on the other side, I'll show you what cool thing I've got here. I don't know if it's in the finished video you're going to see it, but Maggie made me this amazing treble clef with a rainbow background put up there behind me as well.
I like that.
I don't know if I got to see how it squares up in our video, but
yeah. Oh, that's cool. Do you guys want to see mine too?
Yeah, I want to see it, Jen.
Right. So
what do you got?
This is the Summer Wind Jazz Festival from 2003.
Did you play?
No, my father-in-law was, I don't know if he was on the board, but very involved in making that happen. And it's in the park. Happened in the park in the town where Tom grew up. Over here we have the record player, TJ the DJ.
That's right.
Hits up the record player. Yep.
What's the painting behind you up there?
So this one, Tom's kindergarten teacher did that. So we have a few pieces of her artwork throughout the house. And I think that's really, the kindergarten teachers are special, really special. So, shout out to all you kindergarten teachers and those of you that, live with or support a kindergarten teacher, because she's amazing. So Mrs. Hilbert, that one's by Mrs. Hilbert.
That's so cool. You have it framed in your basement. I never knew that. I mean, you've been in front of that painting a dozen times, or
I know
more, and I never got to really see what it was, which is awesome.
I know, we never got to talk about it. I'm not panning any further because the rest is Elmo, kids' toys, Cookie Monster, Stuffy,
Yeah, isn't that how it is when you're, when you have a setup for YouTube or for podcasting? You just, everything else is who knows, but that spot
you just put the blinders on and,
I think our office is pretty good.
Yeah, no, you guys have a nice space there.
I'll go over a little more here. You can see I've got my keyboard. I got a painting by my grandmother of cabbage and beets, and then our printer. And
beautiful.
I think I've got a crystal saxophone up there. I don't know what that is.
Right. There you go.
Anyway, if you're listening on Spotify or your favorite podcast app and you're wondering what all this looks like, just search us up on YouTube and you can check out what we're talking about.
That was our big plug for our YouTube channel. Get out there. Yeah, that's the place to be.
Yes, it is. So anyway, Jen, this was a lot of fun. I look forward to checking back in throughout our episodes and seeing how our resolutions are going.
Same here. 2024 is going to be productive, and I think it's very productive.
And I know it's going to be productive for our listeners too. So share those resolutions with us.
Yeah.
And before we go, just one more reminder: get out there and make some great music. Cheers, Jen.
Right, cheers.
I'll see you soon for next rehearsal.
Yes, definitely. All right.